Hi guys, I am back with another video. This is part two to my other video. So this is going to be a gift guide for men who are um, really manly men who don't want the typical gift. And if you know what to get them, it'll be way more awesome than getting them the typical stuff that us women think a guy wants, but really they don't. So this is ideas for Christmas, gift guide for anything really, or if it's a guy that's watching, maybe an idea to buy yourself or ideas to ask for. But a lot of guys might already have all of these, so yeah. And then also the wordage I use, I do not know these things for myself. I'm going to be showing you options that I have learned from my boyfriend. So he's told me these are what guys would want for gifts. Other things that he may just need or other things he could buy himself, those aren't gifts for him. So he's very picky and he's really hard to shop for. So this is kind of a list for those kind of guys. So first up, power tools, which you can't just give him any power tool. I've learned you have to figure out what kind he already has, because if he already has a power tool in a certain brand, like say he has DeWalt or Milwaukee, those come with their own certain power or battery packs that if you that are interchangeable to other DeWalt or other Milwaukee products. So you wouldn't want to just like mix and match and get him something he has to go get a whole other battery set for. So you might want to check around to see what kind of tools he already has and snoop a little bit, which we're awesome at. um, so just see if it's DeWalt. Usually they're yellow. I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is for women who are not knowledgeable about tools and such. Sorry. So Milwaukee is red and it'll say Milwaukee on it. So this is an example of what a Milwaukee set is, and so you could always try for that. Um, that this is Milwaukee, obviously. There is a ton of little things in this like one kit. I don't know if it all came in it, but there's things like this, like that are very handy. These are drills of sorts, electronic drills. So there's like ones for like small bits and large bits. We'll just stop there before I continue to sound ridiculous. And then there's things that go with it, such as like these things. Now that I'm on the video, I forgot what they're called. You know what they are. I just can't think of the word right now, but I knew. And then, so if he doesn't have stuff like this, he said that this one was really cheap, I think, or dinky. I don't know. He's more of a DeWalt guy, anyways, but he does have both. He has Milwaukee and DeWalt, and since he has those two, you would just want to stick to those two and make sure he doesn't already have the tool that you were thinking, or if you had something in mind. So that's an option. Those little power drills are awesome for just like little home things. Even for me, like if you were to put together a table or something that you bought cheap, it just goes together really quick. Anyways, another option. If he is a guy who likes to grill, obviously that's an option, like barbecue and Traeger accessories, and also outdoor griddles, because I guess if you were really going all out and he's like a foodie type and loves food, I would not call my boyfriend a foodie because I hate that word. But he is obsessed with meat and food. So he got himself a large outside griddle. So we have a barbecue that does propane and charcoal. We've got a Traeger, and we've got a big flat griddle outdoor grill. Um, so he could use accessories, but he said, do not get them cleaning supplies for such barbecue Traeger or griddle because they don't want that and they don't like it. Another option, seasoning. So seasoning kits, spice kits, something that they could just like play with on their food, try some new flavors. Um, that's an option. And then another one, totally different, is these light rods. So for a guy who doesn't have, for a guy who has everything, does he have a light rod? And now, this is not just like the regular drop lights. This is like they call them the drop light, where you could like hang them in, outdoor, or while you're working in the garage, you need something extra for lighting. This one is like a rechargeable one, hangs from both sides. It's got a dimmer and a UV, like it's got like a black light. I know you probably can't see that from here. It's got a black light. It's got other functions to it. So it's super bright. So that one would be a good option. This one is Nico. It's the brand Nico. I don't know if they're actually called light rods, honestly. I think that's just what I've been calling it. Just they're not even that expensive. So you could probably get a couple of them and they'd come in really handy. So there's that option. Another option, LED light bar. The guys can mount them on their vehicles anywhere, apparently. So they're really, really bright, and they're good for really bright lights out in the woods, apparently. And guys could use that. That's an option. So just Google LED light bar and you'll find a ton. Another option, which is kind of like you don't need it, but it's so nice. It's if you are like, if you have a guy that gets hot really quickly, or if you have kids with sports, a Mr. Fan. And this is the Mr. Fan. This was from Home Depot, and Ryobi is the name brand. And this cord goes into a 5-gallon bucket of water and sucks up water and brings it through the fan and mists water on everyone in the hot summer days. So it's really, really nice. And I wish we would have had 2 of them, honestly, because they're really cool. So you got the different speeds and such, but you just put that on there. People will sit in front of that fan all summer long. So if you have gatherings outside for picnics, sporting events, we bring it to the girls' basketball games in the summer, and it's a lifesaver. So that's an option. And Home Depot. Let's see, another option. Flashlights. You can't go wrong with flashlights. Obviously, your guy probably has a ton of flashlights already, but they're somewhat like firearms to some guys. Some guys are just like, you can't have enough flashlights. Nick, he does have a good amount, but I know he's not that obsessed with those as much. But if he could find a flashlight that's really high powered and super bright and that's good quality, they get excited for that, I guess. So there's like these little tiny ones that we use camping. These are easy because they got a little hook on them. You can hook them to your pants or pocket or something. These don't last very long though. I mean, I'm just giving you an example for like a little thing, little something, something. Put that in the car. It helps. Another idea is a pocket knife. Now, obviously your guys probably already got plenty of pocket knives. They've probably got their favorite, whatever. But you might want to upgrade their pocket knife. Maybe they would want something higher quality. I don't know. There's Kershaw and Benchmade are good quality ones, so I've heard. And also a Leatherman. It's like a knife and multi-tool. It's really chunkier, but they don't care, I guess. So that one is helpful. They've got like other tools in it. And he honestly, he carries one just because right now that's the only thing he has. He doesn't really like it because he doesn't think the knife's big enough. But it isn't. I mean, it is really small. So it depends on what you need. Do you just need knives all day long and you just need to get a big knife? Or is it your guy like doing all kinds of things? Like he's going to need a pliers, he's going to need this, and you know, depends on the guy. Another idea that women would never think of is a winch. And that I have learned is a big cable that's really strong and that can pull vehicles out of a ditch or out of snow or out of mud. Uh, there's like these really cool ones. They're super, super strong. So you just hook it up to one vehicle that has the strength to pull another vehicle, and you pull it and you get it out of trouble. Another option, oh, and he did say that one of the ones he likes is a Yankum. That's the brand name. Yankum rope. So there you go. Google that one. Another side mention, because he said not to, but I'm going to. Another side mention would be ATV accessories. So if your guy has a side-by-side, or if they've got a four-wheeler, or, whatever they have, because you know how guys, they always like all those toys. Motorcycles, stuff like that. Maybe accessories for that. And he thinks that that's not a good enough gift, but whatever. But if your guy has been saying, hey, the side by side I got myself, now these are for guys who buy themselves everything, remember, my guy, someone says like, oh, I didn't get the full package deal on my such and such, on my side by side or something. I want to get doors for it now, or I want to get a back windshield for it now. And if he's been talking about that and complaining about it for a year, now's the time. And then let's see, I've got other options to go along with like little stocking stuffers if you're at wit's end. Something called a Life Straw. Now, honestly, I don't think he's ever used it. I don't know. But it looks cool. And you're supposed to be able to drink out of lakes and rivers from it, and it's supposed to filter the water and make it safe for drinking. So, use that as you may. Life Straw by Vestergaard. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they work. But he's got it in his pack just for in case. I don't know. I just found it in one of his bags. So I'm sure he was gifted it by someone. I don't know if he's used it yet. This is also, I thought this was kind of cool looking. So I rifled through one of his hunting packs, and I found this. This would be kind of a cool looking stocking stuffer. I don't know what that was, but it's like there's these matches in here, and I'm kind of thinking they must be waterproof or something. And you can strike them on this, even in the rain and water, because it does say, it says UCO, UCO. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I'll close it up here. 1 second. Okay, backwards. UCO, stormproof matches. So that's cool. And then another option is like a guy who's like a fix-it-all guy. This is a carbon pencil that can basically write on anything. So like when the guy is, measuring for things before they cut it, or measure, I don't know. It just marks on anything. I guess it kind of gives me a mark. Yeah, it marked on me. So it's a carbon tip. But, that's something handy This one is just called Tough Carbon Marking Pencil. Tuff, Tough Carbon. And then another little mention is a fine point black permanent marker. And apparently, even though this is a Milwaukee brand, he thinks that they're supposed to be better than Sharpie. So who knows? But it's a cheap stocking stuffer, and apparently he uses it around the garage sometimes to mark stuff. And then another side mention on this wind checker, which now I know it's called wind checker now. They use these for hunting. So this was just a small little thing from the first video I did, and I forgot to mention it as a stocking stuffer. Like if for girls out there who don't know or don't have a care, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, maybe behind my black shirt. I don't know. You squeeze it and it, puts out this smoke. It puts out something. It's powder, odorless powder, and the powder goes in a certain direction. Then you know what direction the wind is going. Blah blah blah. And a little. I forgot to mention this is what a camp stove looks like, because these are really handy. Camp stove. This is not the greatest option. This is one of his that he doesn't like anymore, so I took it for the video. So he has another one. This is Stanley. I don't know, whatever. It's a Stanley cook stove doodad, and it sits on a thing, and you've got a propane little can underneath, and you can heat yourself up that peak dehydrated food, or you know, whatever you've got for a meal that day, that night, whatever. So yeah, I hope that helped. That's all I can think about right now. I think that's the only thing I had on my list. Hopefully that helps. Okay, and I also need to put in items that Nick has said, my boyfriend, has said not to buy, men. So if he, unless there is an exception, unless the man has been specifically asking for these things, there's no reason to get these for them. Like if they're one of the kinds of guys it's hard to buy for, very manly, he only likes outdoor stuff, like they refuse to eat store-bought jerky, and he doesn't ever use lotion. For example, he wouldn't caught dead in cologne, stuff like that. Like he's a man, you know? Or he breaks an ankle and he just wants to walk it off. No reason to go to the emergency room. All right. So he said, no, and stop buying wallets or money clips. That's a no-no. No hats, underwear, or socks. So stop it. And any clothes for that matter. No clothes. And I did ask him, what about like bibs, like hunting bibs? Like there's like basically overalls. I don't know why they call them bibs. It sounds horrible. But like what about hunting clothes? He's like, no, don't do it, because that's very specific to whatever a guy needs and wants. So just don't. Safer bet not to. Also, no auto cleaning kits. Just stop that. No grill cleaning supplies. They don't want cleaning supplies. That's not a Christmas gift for them. No boots. So that falls into the clothes guide, I guess. No boots, even if they're useful. No. No books. No books. Unless it's like a hunting book. No. I even asked him what if it was a hunting book, and he said no. Unless he's been asking for it, of course. No electric shaver. None of this. None of that. No shaving accessories. And no store-bought, mass-produced jerky. So no more of that. No snacks and no treats. They can buy those themselves. That's a useless gift to them. So stop it. So that those are my don't buy anymore. Stop it. So yeah, good luck.